Ever opened your Strata levy notice and thought, hang on, when did it get this high? You are not alone. Across New South Wales, thousands of apartment owners, particularly those who are new to owning in Strata, are having that exact same feeling, receiving their levy notice only to see it's gone up once again. Strata levies can seemingly creep up quickly. Between insurances, maintenance costs, and major upgrade or renewal projects, it can feel like there's no ceiling for how high they can go. But something new has arrived to help owners deal with their Strata levies. As of the 27th of October 2025, major reforms to New South Wales Strata laws have kicked in, which will change the way levies, payment plans, and debt recovery processes work. So let's unpack this together. What are Strata levies and why do they keep increasing? What can you do when you start feeling overwhelmed? And what do these new reforms actually mean for you and your building? Let's make sense of it in plain English. Your Strata levy is basically your share of the cost to run and maintain your building. Think of it like a joint household budget, but for everyone in your Strata scheme. It covers everyday run-of-the-mill expenses like cleaning, gardening, building insurance, and maintenance, and it also helps fund bigger, less frequent projects like repainting the building, fixing the roof, replacing lifts, or upgrading fire safety systems. In other words, it's how your building stays safe, compliant, and well-maintained for the enjoyment of all owners and residents. These levies are managed by your owner's corporation, which is just the formal name for all the owners in your building acting together as one legal entity. Each year, the committee, or the strata manager if you have one, prepares a budget, basically a forecast of what your building will need to spend. That budget gets shared among all of the owners in your scheme. How much you pay depends on your unit entitlement, which is your lot's share of the building, usually based on size, location, or value. If your unit entitlement is higher, you will have to pay a bit more. Now, there's a lot of confusion around strata levies, so let's clear up a few big myths. Myth 1. My levies go straight to the strata manager. Nope, they don't. Your levies go into your building's own accounts, managed by the owner's corporation. Most buildings have two key funds: the administrative fund, which covers day-to-day running costs like cleaning, gardening, and minor repairs, and the capital works fund, which is your building's savings account for bigger, future projects like painting, roofing, or lift replacements. The strata manager is simply paid a fee to help administer these funds, keeping records, arranging quotes, paying contractors, and so on. Myth 2. My strata manager just sets our levies as high as they like. Also not true. Levies are determined and agreed upon by the owners, not the manager. Each year at the annual general meeting, the owners review the budget and vote on how much money to raise. If you think it's too high or not high enough, that's your moment to ask questions and vote accordingly. Myth 3. Levies only pay for things like cleaning and gardening, so they really shouldn't be so high. Far from it. Levies also fund insurance, compliance costs, and long-term maintenance, like replacing windows, waterproofing balconies, or fixing building defects. Without them, your building would deteriorate fast. Imagine your block's lift breaks down. If the Capital Works Fund doesn't have enough saved, the owners have to raise what's called a special levy, a one-off extra payment. That's why keeping levies at a realistic level matters. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Strata levies rarely ever go down. Let's look at why. First, insurance. Insurance for apartment buildings has been climbing across Australia. Storm damage, flood risks, cladding issues all add up. And because all strata buildings are required to have insurance, you can't avoid it. Second, inflation and labour costs. Tradies are in short supply, materials are more expensive, and compliance costs have gone up too. Even a simple plumbing repair or gutter clean costs more than it did a few years ago. Third, big repairs and compliance projects. Think fire upgrades, waterproofing, facade renewals, or cladding replacement. They're essential, but they come with eye-watering price tags. Recently, there was a case where one Sydney building had to replace its cladding to meet fire safety standards. Each owner faced special levies between $50,000 and $200,000. Nobody planned for it, but legally it had to be done. Fourth, special levies. These are one-off levies raised when the normal funds just aren't enough. Say the roof needs replacing for $300,000, but the Capital Works Fund only has $100,000. The remaining $200,000 has to come from the owners, usually spread across everyone based on unit entitlements. And that's when things start to feel heavy. Suddenly, what felt manageable can become a major financial strain. So, yes, levies rise for real practical reasons, but that doesn't make them easier to swallow. If your strata levies are getting too hard to manage, take a breath. You've got options and rights. Start with your committee or strata manager. Ask to see the detailed budget. You are entitled to it. It should show where money is going and why, which will give you a better understanding of why your levies are what they are. If you do spot something unusual, don't be afraid to ask questions. Transparency is key. Next, contact your strata manager to set up a payment plan. That's where you can pay overdue levies in smaller installments over time. And if you need free help, call the National Debt Helpline on 1800 007 007. They'll connect you with a qualified financial counsellor who can guide you through your options. If communication breaks down, you can apply for mediation through New South Wales Fair Trading, or if needed, escalate it to andwhat, the State Tribunal for Strata Disputes. The most important thing, don't go quiet. Unpaid levies can snowball fast, but early conversations can stop things from spiralling. Now, the big news. As of the 27th of October 2025, a major update to New South Wales strata laws has taken effect. These reforms are designed to make things fairer, more transparent, and more supportive for owners who fall behind. Let's break it down. First, financial hardship support is now mandatory. Every levy notice will now need to include a financial hardship information statement, a plain English summary of your rights, and the help available if you are struggling to pay. Owners' corporations now must consider payment plans. They can't just blanket refuse them. They can only say no under very specific circumstances approved under the new reforms. And once a payment plan is approved, debt recovery has to pause while you're keeping up with that plan. No more being chased by debt collectors when you're trying to do the right thing. Second, debt recovery rules are a little tighter. Before taking legal action, the owner's corporation must now give at least 30 days notice, up from 21. And they have to prove they offered a payment plan first. If they skip that step, they might not be able to recover their legal costs later. Payments will also have to be applied in a fair order. Oldest levies first, then interest, then costs. Third, there is now much more oversight on maintenance and transparency. New South Wales Fair Trading will gain stronger powers to step in when a building isn't being properly maintained. They can demand maintenance records, issue compliance notices, or even ask a tribunal to appoint a new manager. Strata managers will face stricter disclosure rules too. They'll have to declare any commissions, financial interests, or supplier relationships up front. Plus, unfair contract terms in management agreements will be banned. For new buildings, there'll be standard maintenance schedules and certified 10-year capital works plans, so owners know exactly what's coming. If you're an owner, you will have clearer information, stronger rights, and fairer treatment when experiencing financial hardship. If you're on a committee, you'll have new obligations, like following the updated notice rules, offering payment plans properly, and keeping better records. These reforms aim to balance compassion with responsibility, supporting owners in hardship while keeping buildings financially stable. Let's bring it all together. Your strata levy is your share of running your building, from daily upkeep to long-term projects. Unit entitlements decide how much you pay and how much say you have. Levies rise because buildings age, costs rise, and standards change. You have rights to information, payment plans, and fair treatment. And as of October 2025, New South Wales new laws give you even stronger protections. Running a strata building isn't cheap, but with good communication, planning, and transparency, levies don't have to be confusing or stressful. If this helped clear things up, share it with other owners in your building. You should see these changes in action on your next levy notice. You can also find more information on strata levies as well as other key topics on our website at www.stratachoice.com.au. Thanks for watching.